Hey guys, welcome back to this part 3 of my Smokey Eye series. In the last 2 videos, I have demonstrated how I usually achieve the smoky look and I call it the classical method. Now I showed the first video to my husband and he said, Preetha, you make it seem really easy, but beginners may still find it intimidating. That's when I got thinking and I decided that I have to go back to the basics, break it down into structures and come up with something like a formula which is easy for everyone to use. Now first, let's try to define smoky. Obviously the name comes from smoke. If you imagine a big blob of smoke, it has got a dense dark part and then gradually it becomes lighter and thinner till it dissipates into thin air. Similarly for smoky eyes, there is a darker part and gradually it becomes lighter and lighter to meet the rest of your own skin tone. Now that dark part can be anywhere in the eye. It can be close to the upper lash line, which it is for me most of the times, or it can also be on the crease line. So the crease can be the darkest part gradually becoming lighter upwards and downwards, or it can be in the outer V of your eye gradually becoming lighter as it goes inwards. Also, what colors should we use to achieve the smoky look? Now, in the best case scenario, you should have 3 colors, light, medium and dark. But you can also make do with 2 shades, one light to medium and one slightly darker. Sometimes you can also achieve it with just 1 shade, but let's come to that later. You can play with any kind of colors for the smoky eye. It is a common misconception that smoky eye only means black, intense black or dark brown. Honestly, that's the beauty of makeup. It's an art of self-expression and it is fully removable. So always feel free to experiment and go out of your comfort zone. In order to understand the basics of smoky eye look, we first have to look at the anatomy of the eye. And in order to do that, I need to take all my makeup off. So just give me a quick second. That's loads better. Now we can study the anatomy of our face. So if you look closely at the mirror, the human face is not flat. It has got a natural curve. The central line running through the nose, the center part of the nose, the bridge of the nose is the highest part and it gradually recedes towards the sides going up to the ears and the back. As a general rule of thumb, any part of the face which should be at a depth, at a deeper level and which you want further away from the eyes of an observer should be painted with darker shades. Classic example is the hollow of the cheek, and we use darker shade to contour the cheek because we want to give it the appearance of being sunken and not plumped up with a lot of flesh. For the eyes, the darker shades should be used for the crease because wherever the crease line is or wherever you want it to be, the crease is at a depth than the other parts of the face. Also the outer V. If you place your hand straight on your eye, then you will notice that the outer V is not in fact touching the fingers. That is because of the natural curve of the face. The outer V is actually further away from the rest of the level of your eye. So this should have darker shades too. Conversely, any part of the face which is at a higher level or which should be at a higher level should be highlighted with lighter shades. Classic example again is the bridge of the nose. For the eyes, it is the inner part of the eye. Now the inner corner is at a higher level than the outer corner, but they tend to have a lot of pigmentation. Also, they can get the shadows from the bridge of the nose. So we usually use a little bit of light color in the inner corner to really wake it up, make it more prominent. Also, the area just under the eyebrow, on the brow bone, outer part, we use light colors here to really bring out the height, the definition of the brow bone. It's important that you study your face properly so that you know which are the parts you want to highlight, which are the best parts of your face you really want to bring out. And if you want to do a little bit of tweak, a little bit of addition or subtraction here or there to slightly change the appearance of your face, you can do that too. But there is not a single formula that fits everyone. You have to find out which method suits you best. Now let's get on to the actual basic smoky eye makeup look. For it, I'm going to use 2 makeup brushes, one blender brush. Once again, I'm going to go back to the same angular blender brush and the same smudge brush that I've used in the last couple of videos. You know, if you want to achieve the smoky eyes look without any eyeshadow brush, you have to wait to the last part of my series. This is really a spoiler alert. You know, in order to know when it comes out, you have to subscribe. So the button is right there for you. As far as the eyeshadows are concerned, because I'm trying to do a basic look this time, I'll stick to the basics, use shades of brown. The lightest shade is almost like a bony kind of a shade that is going to prime my eyelids and provide a base layer to the canvas. Then there's a brown, then there's a dark brown. And as an added bonus, I also have a sparkly kind of a shade. I may or may not use it. And finally, I have the mascara and eye pencil et al. Alright, so let's begin. I have not put any makeup on my face. This time I'm going to start with a fresh naked face. The reason is that this is supposed to be really basic, and even though personally I always do the foundation before the eyes, but I recognize one reason why many people shy away from trying the smoky look is because they feel that they end up looking like a panda at the end. So I think if you do the eyes first, and you can afford to be really messy, because if eyeshadows fly here and there and you have got wrong lines and mascara smeared all over your face, you still have the option of clearing things out and starting the skin from scratch. So let's do the eyes first. I have to admit here that I've used the moisturizer on my face and also on my lids and under eyes. So that's the only thing I've done. I'm going to start with the eyebrows. I don't really, this is only for smoky eyes. I don't really need to show you how I do my eyebrows. But because I have this palette, I have to tell you this, that this dark brown shade, sorry, that there goes my smudge brush. So this dark eye shade is the color of my eyebrows. And I can get away from not using an eyebrow pencil this time. I'm going to use the smudge brush, or you use any kind of eyeshadow brush that will fit into my eyebrow, and this color to do the eyebrows. So I'm going to do the eyebrows right from the inner corner, and I am going to fill in till the last hair on the tail. My eyebrows are now done. I'm going to take the blender brush and use the light shade as promised. This is for the base coat. Go all across the eyelid, right from the brow bone, right from just underneath the eyebrow up to the upper lash line. Now this helps to keep the eyeshadow on for longer and helps to prevent creasing too. If you do not have a light color of eyeshadow, then you can also use your foundation powder or even translucent powder. Now I'm going to add depth to a few areas of my eye, and this is where it gets interesting for me. If you look closely, I'm trying to look closely at the camera now. My eyes are asymmetrical. My left eye is average, but my right eye has an annoying hood. So if you look closely, you can see more space in the lid area of my left eye and far less space in my right eye, and this annoying fleshy mass of meat. I have to be really clever with my eye makeup. Most of the times people don't even realize that I've got asymmetrical eyes because I do lots of tweaks to my eye makeup. I'm not going to go into all that details now, but I will show you how I create my crease. It's really very simple. Where do I want my crease to be? I want dark shade to be there. So for the left eye, I'm happy with the crease I am, but I think I can go a little further up, you know, because there's a lot of space between my actual crease line and the eyebrow. So let's use the smudger brush and the, you know, the medium color, the brown color, and on the outer side of the crease, let's just draw a semicircle following the curve of the eye wherever I want the crease to be. I'm going to do the same for my right eye, but obviously this time it's going to be higher. I'm going to look straight at the mirror now to make sure that it's same on both the sides. Now I'm going to go to the outer part of my eyes. So I'll use the handle of eyeshadow brush. I'll connect the tip of the tail of the eyebrow to the outer corner of my eye. This is going to be the outer boundary, and I'm going to take the dark shade and go on the outer V. So this is the outer V. Just randomly slap a coating of the dark shade on here. I don't need to be very graceful with this. I will use the blender brush to just blend on both the sides so that it diffuses, the lines do not appear sharp, and I'm not going to worry if anything extends, anything falls, because I know I've not done my face makeup, so I have plenty of opportunities to rectify my mistakes. Now this has blended very easily because I have not used much colors, so I'm going to add the colors to create a darker smoky if I want. You see how clumsily I am putting on the colors, and that I'm not putting anything in the inner corner because I know eventually through the process of blending they will fill up with colors too. And also if they don't have any colors, I won't mind because they are inner corners, they can remain lighter than the rest. Back and forth windshield wiper motion on both the sides. There's another part of the eye where I want slightly dark color, that is the skin just below the lower lash line, the low waterline. If light falls on your face, because of the natural presence of lashes on the lower lash line, you should have a little bit of shadow right here. Not many of us will have that thick, luxurious eyelashes on the lower lash line. So we can just fake the shadow by using darker shades of the eyeshadow. We're going to do the first layer with the medium shade from the outer corner to the inner corner, and then with the darker shade from the outer corner up to the middle. You can always do a little bit of wing by extending it from the outer corner of the lower waterline. It's way easier to do it this way than to wing it from the upper lash line, and this is the thinner smudge brush. I'm not going to line my upper lash line and lower lash line using the brown eye pencil. I've already winged it with the eyeshadow, so I won't bother if it is not winged with my eyeliner, but I'll definitely join it, the upper and lower lines, on both inner and outer corners. Now let's curl the eyelashes and do the mascara. That more or less finishes my eye makeup. As you see, I've got a smudge of the mascara over here. I've got some extra eyeshadows over here. So I'm just going to wipe a cotton wool all across the under eye, following the curve, stretching it out so the eyeshadow also follows a natural wing pattern. Since I have the sparkly glittery shade, I can take a little bit using my index finger and put it just on the inner corner of my eye to give it a party look. I can also clean the blender brush, use the tip to take a little bit of the lightest shade and put it on the outer part of my brow bone. My eye makeup is done. I'm now going to quickly do the face and see you in 3, 2, 1. And here I am. As you can see, the eyes look so much better and so much more prominent now the foundation and the lips have all been done. I was a little concerned that I've used less color and the eyes look a bit faded, but with the rest of my face all done, it looks quite nice and it looks proper smoky to me. As always, if you want a darker smoky, you can always pile on more layers of the color, and you can use other shades too. Feel free, enjoy, and see you later. Bye.